Okay, everybody. This is going to be the start of probably several guides to help everyone get familiar with the new customization options for Season 2. Why? Because a lot of people don't have this game, so we're going to try and give you all the information you need to be able to make the decisions for your team. This might take a little while, might not, but I have several commentators here with me. I have Apothic, who understands these just as well as I do, if not better. Say hello.
Okay.
That's not really hello, but sure, we'll go with that. We have Sparta.
Yo, what up?
Okay, we have Galagoth.
The horrors.
And we have Snowy BP.
Hello, and I know nothing.
Good! That means you can ask questions. That's part of the reason why I have you guys
But
here.
hey, I read a guide about these things, so I know quite a bit now.
Oh, okay. I'm an expert because I read it on the internet.
I probably know more than you.
Guys, I actually
God.
have a PhD in physics now because I looked at the Wikipedia page.
Oh snap! Oh man, that sounds like the Mass Effect social forums. Everyone there's a rocket
I guess I
scientist.
qualify as a 5-star general then.
Oh
I played
man,
Total War.
I actually use that as like, well, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I play one on the interweb. Alright, so let's get started. First, let's go over some basics. I just put up a tutorial today that covers a lot of the basics, but let's go over a couple of basics using the terminology that's used in the list so that you guys get a better understanding. First of all, Rush Blast. You see a lot of things in there that say, increase your Rush Blast damage. This is a Rush Blast. Different people have different types of them. They look different, but that's what they are. These small ones right
here.
here.
Little fireball things that you shoot out of your hand.
Right.
Any little thing that you shoot out of your hand that doesn't have a name, that's a rush blast.
Right. You can do it while
And
you're
some of them
dashing.
Charged up.
I thought that was just a Kai blast.
No. The charged up is something
they're
different.
called rush blasts.
No, yeah, they're called Rush Blast. I'm using the terminology of the list so that people know what we're talking about.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The charged up.
The charged one is
Rush
called
Blast,
an energy blast. I don't know why they call it something different, but because they do because it actually does have an effect. Things that affect the Rush Blast, which are these, do not also affect the energy blasts, which are these. The charged up version. Again, different people have different charge. Some people have big balls. Some people have a sword slash. And I know that sounded horrible, but stick with me. Some people are fast and slow. But anyway, so there's a difference. There's a difference between these small balls here, which are rush blasts, and the energy blast, which is the charged version, where you see them charge up for a second and then fire. The energy blast can have certain effects to it. First of all, some energy blasts are very slow and long-lasting, which means that they can be used for head games because a lot of people will fire off the energy blast and then charge up there and start beating on them, and then when the energy blast hits them, it's just like extra damage.
Yeah,
so,
I also like the ones that are unblockable.
And there are some that are unblockable, like the Destructo Disc. There's even some that stun you when you get hit by them. Not for very long.
Nice.
Yeah, not for very long, but they do stun you when you get hit by them. So when you see, and we'll go down the list, when you see one that says adds damage to your rush blast or adds damage to your energy blast, that's what they're talking about. Rush attacks are these right here, just these hand-to-hand combats. So it also involves kicks, sword slashes, any of the basic hand-to-hand combos like that. That's your rush attacks. That's different from smash attacks, which are these right here. Smash attacks are the things that knock your opponent halfway across the map. And they are different because you'll have moves that will increase your rush attack, but not your smash attack, or vice versa.
I thought they were called pimp slap attacks.
Yeah, well, that's what we call them, but the proper terminology is smash attacks. Vanishing attacks.
That could get into the insulting area again.
Right. Vanishing attacks are these right here. No, not that. Hang on. These, where you strike them back.
Actually vanish and appear behind somebody.
Exactly. You vanish and appear behind them. It's very simple, but I thought I'd throw it in there just so everyone knows. Also, I put this in the other video. Dragon homing is this attack, where you knock them back, and then you immediately charge after them and hit them again. If you notice, it does 17 to 2,000 points of damage every time you hit them with it. So, if you were to add, say, Dragon Homing plus 2, that's a potential extra 4,000 points of damage every time they do that, and they do that a lot in this league. So that's something to keep your eye on. What other terminology are we thinking about? Blast 1. Blast 1 are the things that use your blast stocks, which is the number below the character. And that can be a little confusing because blast stocks is the number. How many of those numbers you have. Blast 1 is what they do. Your blast gauge is how fast those blast stocks fill up. So, and they do weird status effects, like they'll stun opponents, they'll let you dodge automatically, they'll let you charge up, they'll let you, like for example, look, charge up to the very limit, makes you go straight to maximum power, that kind of thing. Blast 2 are your energy beams and cutscene attacks, like Blazing Storm is an energy beam attack, Finish Buster is another energy beam attack. Cutscene attacks, what I'm talking about when I say cutscene attacks, are when, literally, when you charge at them like that, and then when you hit them, it goes into a cutscene of you doing something bad to them.
Yeah, like Vidal's attacks.
Right, like Vidal's attacks. Those are called cutscene attacks. They all count for Blast 2 attacks. Anything that's like a big energy beam, a barrage of energy beams, a cutscene attack, those are all Blast 2.
Yeah, generally any move that actually has a name is a Blast 2. So
Correct. Or a Blast 1 if it's a status effect thing.
Yeah, if it's a status effect or a really small energy wave that doesn't actually do much damage.
Correct.
Those are Blast 1s.
Really wish you knew this in the beginning of the league.
Right. While I believe...
do between like 5,000 and 10,000 damage.
And while ultimates are not considered Blast 2s, they are all usually grouped together in the custom abilities with just the name Super, which means Super counts for any Blast 2 or ultimate move. I am correct on that, right, Apothec?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I can answer.
Yeah.
He's dead.
So,
good God, Sparta, just a genius, aren't you?
so if you see a custom ability that says will increase all supers or whatnot, then that's what it's talking about. Also, let me explain something about blast stocks. I didn't really explain this last time. You also need blast stocks to transform. If you have no blast stocks, you can't do this. See, it took one blast stock to do that. If you want to go up higher, like sometimes you'll see Goku go straight from level 1 to level 3 instantly. Frieza technically has the capability of going from 1 to 3, I think. I've just never seen him do it. It takes more blast stocks to do that. So if you have a character that transforms a lot, like say a Frieza or a Cell, something that helps them get blast stocks can be beneficial because they need him to transform. There's a couple
of... It's good to know, because it's not easy to notice sometimes that it
right.
actually takes up a blast stock. It's actually pretty quick.
So I'm going to go down the list.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to go down a list for a bunch of these that are actually in the list and cover some of them that we may need help with. First of all, Flight. Flight, no one in the Dragon Ball Z League right now needs it, but some of the people in the new teams won't need it, but I'll show you what they basically do. It doesn't mean you can't do this. It doesn't mean you can't Dragon Dash or anything like that. You can still do all of this. All it means is that you can't levitate like Trunks is doing now. Once you stop whatever move you're doing, you'll start slowly sinking down again. That's all it means. In fact, it can even give you...
and it's really not a big deal.
No, it's not at all. We did a lot of tests on this, Apothic and Flemmy and I, and we found that even in some cases it can give you a slight advantage because let's say you're up in the air and someone fires a Kamehameha at you, well, you're sinking. So now that Kamehameha misses. It's not... It wasn't a big enough advantage to really, like, enter into your game plan or anything, but just to let you know, it's there if you want it for whatever reason, but it's not necessary, so it's not mandatory. Let's see, high spot. Rush rapid movement key is halved. Rush rapid movement is this. Hang on, let me lock on to... Come on, get over here. Rush rapid movement is when you disappear like this. Like that. If you see, that takes half a bar. And if you do that several times, you'll see moments in the game where they'll keep vanish countering each other. Like they'll just disappear behind this guy disappears behind this guy disappears behind that guy. Every time they do that, it uses half a bar. So putting the high spot on will help reduce that so that you can do it more often. Or so that when you do it, it doesn't drain half your energy gauge. And we all know how often that happens in the league.
Yeah, it does.
Very true.
Alright, active heart,
Very often.
rate of key recovery after a rush attack hits is increased slightly. If you notice, well, you can't in practice. Actually, you can if I turn this on. No, I guess I can't. Oh well. Anyway, your ki will slowly build up when you're attacking with your hand-to-hand combat. Every time you successfully land a blow, it will start refilling your ki energy, and this basically just helps it refill faster whenever you're doing combat attacks. So it's something to look at if you have a character that does lots of rush attacks, because it will recharge your energy faster. Mindbreaker, key damage caused when guard crushing an opponent is increased. Guard crushing is, gosh, let me see if I can show it. Guard crushing is when...
I can explain it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that guard crush is the thing where somebody's blocking, and then it kind of looks like a white ball on their arms shatters, and they
Correct.
get stunned for it.
Exactly. It also, whoa. Oh, that's not good. Zarbon, no, sir. You do not get behind little boys like that. Like this. Like that, right there, right there.
Why? I know
I thought
that.
Zarbon had a girlfriend.
Right there, guys. You just saw it. He rushed me, he broke my block, and it looked like something shattered. Not only does that stun me for a second, it also drains, I think, like 2 or 3 energy bars. So it is a very... It's better to use that than getting hit by a cutscene attack, but it's still not a good thing. And some people, some custom abilities will actually increase how much energy they lose when you guard crush them. So that's something to look at too. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. You can put this one on there, which is oh no, this is exactly what I was talking about. Mindbreaker. When you guard crush someone like that, if you have Mindbreaker on, they'll lose even more energy. And they already lose a substantial amount, so that's something really to look at. Rising Fighting Spirit. And you guys have to also understand, don't underestimate how important that is. That if a guy has full energy and a guy has no energy, the guy with full energy is at a major advantage, because the other guy can't do any blast 2s, he can't do any charge up to maximum, nothing. All he can basically do is rush combos until he can get his energy back up. So to take their ki energy down does give you a big advantage. I say Rising Fighting Spirit. Ki is at max at the start of each battle. Okay, I don't have to really explain that. Does anyone here not understand that?
It just gives a good advantage when you're starting out. It's like, hey, yeah, full energy. There it goes.
All right, the proof...
I think you're gonna need to explain it for me. Actually, I don't get it.
Oh, quite apothic.
Oh, apothic. I'll draw you pictures later.
I think a good thing for those characters that tend to open with bigger moves.
Correct. Yeah, there's like a lot of people that'll...
quite a few times.
And it's I would say it's almost vital for starters. Honestly, I would say it's almost vital for a starter. But also, I think everyone needs to understand too that the things that we had placed on everyone in the first season are no longer there by default. Meaning, everyone's not going to come in with full energy and full blast bars anymore. That was something I added, but now that we took that away, we're not going to have that anymore. Hang on a second. Where were we before I stopped for like 10 minutes? Oh, yes. I was about to talk about the proof of friendship and the battle controls, which govern your switch gauge. You don't see it here because we are in a single-player match, but when you have a tag battle or a team battle, there's a purple bar underneath all your HUD stuff that will has to fill up before you can tag out your team. Proof of friendship and battle control basically fills this more quickly. I don't know how much of an advantage that is, because we all know that the AI tags out when it wants to tag out. So I don't know if that's a huge advantage or not, but the thing is, we've never really tested it. It might be if that gauge fills up faster, they'll tag out more often. We don't really know. And it will be an advantage towards the end of a fight when you have, say, 2 or 3 people all very low on health, and let's say this. You tag in someone, he has half a bar of health, and your switch gauge will turn on, will fill up faster so that you can tag them out more frequently. I don't know how useful that would be, but conceivably it could really help towards the end of a match.